every debate when it comes to Medicare for all, they always burn it. I was like, well, but it's $34 trillion. He doesn't even know the real number.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wish Bernie would go.
He doesn't know the real number that I just said out loud again.
Yeah, exactly.
I just said the number out loud. And you know what that number is? Smaller than what we actually pay now. So no matter which lens you look at it through, we can afford it many times over.
Ron, you're 100% right. How is it that Bernie Sanders cannot box Joe Biden's fucking ears in, and Joe Biden every debate is allowed to say, where are you going to get the $30 trillion? You can't. You don't have a knockout punch for that stupid fucking thing he's saying. You don't have a knockout punch for that. You can't stop and turn to Joe and go, Joe, the reason why you don't understand where the money's coming from is because you're paid not to understand it. That's why people don't have health care. After 8 years of you had a Democrat-controlled House, a filibuster-proof Senate, and you had a Democrat in the House, and you gave us a right-wing health care plan anyway. That's what voting blue for no matter who does. You get right-wing policies anyway. The Democratic Party is a fucking zombie party. And Bernie is not going to fight for us. That's not happening. I mean, he won't fight for himself, put it that way. He's not fighting this. He's not. Chris Hedges was right. He doesn't have the intestinal fortitude to do this. He doesn't have the character necessary for this. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. He's gonna as the cannibals are overrunning us, he's gonna be saying, "Can I get the door for you? Are you okay? Are you my friend?" It's maddening. I'm beyond. It's beyond.
He gave this speech yesterday about the coronavirus that was actually pretty inspired and sounded like a leader. And he's like, this is a serious thing. And I'm watching this. I read that Jackie Salas wrote the speech Bernie should give. I saw Nomiki Konst put a video like, Bernie, you have to fight for us. You have to do something. I don't know, because we've all been wanting him to do this. He should have said all those things to Joe Biden and then go, and now let's cut to some commercials from the healthcare lobby that pays these people to say this.
I mean, it's that you got to be ballsy if you want to do a revolution, motherfucker. If you think they're going to let you take power, you got to. They're not going to give it to you. You got to fucking take it from them. And how do you take it from them? You start calling them who they are. Corrupt fucking enemies of the people, and you're here to fucking set things straight. And Joe Biden is not your goddamn friend. He's your fucking enemy because he's working against giving healthcare to people. What kind of a friend do you That's your friend? Your friend wants to deny healthcare to people? That's your friend. Well, you got fucking shitty friends who made it harder for people to get rid of their debt and bankruptcies. Motherfucker. It's beyond a bad strategy. You're hurting the country, Bernie. It's beyond bad strategy. You're validating that he's a fucking decent guy, that he's not a decent guy. He's what's wrong with this fucking country, and you know it. And Bernie knows that Joe Biden's what's wrong with this country, and Bernie will lie to the American public and say Joe Biden is a decent guy and that he can beat Trump. Bernie's lying to you when he says that. Joe Biden is not a decent guy. What kind of a fucking decent guy takes money from Wall Street and then makes it impossible for people in the most desperate situations to get rid of their debt through bankruptcy? What kind of a guy does that? A fucking corrupt piece of it. That's the kind of guy. An evil cog, a cog in an evil wheel, a willing cog in an evil wheel. That's who Joe Biden is. He's the fucking enemy of workers. He's the enemy of progressives. He's the enemy of fucking Americans. This guy's done everything to hurt America. Kicked people out of their houses, fucking propping up Wall Street. He's not decent. What Bernie needs to do now is tell people to get out of fucking yellow vest and start shutting shit. Well, they're shutting shit down now because of coronavirus. So now it's like you can't even shut shit down. You can't even shut shit down. They're not even, I bet they won't even have a fucking convention. They're going to have a convention online. So, and now, if you look at it this way, protesting is now illegal. Because any group larger than 250 is illegal. And they could just come in and break it up. So this is work. So because of the situation, I mean, there's nothing. And if Bernie doesn't go in and try to land a couple, at least throw a knockout punch on Sunday.
This is it.
There's nothing we can't do. We can't even protest.
Sunday.
There won't even be a convention. There won't even be anything. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say this is it. Sunday. So it's like this pandemic. He stepped up and made that speech yesterday. We just had to watch Trump give that ridiculous, dumb speech today. This is it. Sunday, this is it because they've suspended primaries. So Bernie actually has an opportunity here on Sunday to go, I'm sorry, Joe, people are going to die if we don't have my Medicare.
Medicare for all.
Medicare for all is
my God. Could there be a greater fucking time for him to make this case?
All the how are we going to pay for it, the I'm afraid of socialism, all those people who are terrified and just bought a pallet full of toilet paper, those people on Sunday night, because their kids can't go to school Monday, they can't go to work Monday, they've spent all weekend locked up, terrified, is this thing going to kill me? They're going to be watching. This is going to be the most watched primary debate.
Home.
Everyone's home. This is it.
Yeah.
And if Bernie comes in and goes, my friend Joe Biden, let's work together, we know that he signed that agreement.
Well,
we know it.
And if he's the nominee, I will work hard and he will beat Trump.
Then we're all going to die.
See, that actually, I think that's been the biggest punch in the gut. The biggest punch in the gut was not Joe Biden's my friend. If we had to give the gold medal for like, wow, big misstep, the biggest punch in the gut was Joe Biden can beat Trump.
Yeah.
A, because it's not true.
Not true.
It's not true at
so
all.
Bernie knows that,
like,
right, Ron? You think?
I feel like he's got to, and he said that. And
He's lying to you, right?
That's not true.
Bernie's lying.
Bernie's lying if he says Joe Biden can beat Trump.
Bernie's
he can't.
lying to win. He's lying. That's a fucking lie, and Bernie knows it.
It's this Sunday. This is it.
Yeah,
Because
this is it.
with these primaries suspended, this is Bernie's chance to go, you're all terrible. I'm actually the voice of reason. Trump is a jackass. He thinks Google's going to fix it. Biden can't even remember what day it is. I actually have a plan. And because everyone is looking for leadership. And there is none from fucking jackass Trump. There's nothing from Trump.
Or Pelosi.
Or
Or Schumer.
Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell didn't want to sign off on the stimulus plan, the Republican Senate, because it was going to have money for abortion. Yeah. Really? We're going to fucking argue about abortion now? Like, what happens if... There's not enough hospital beds. There's not enough respirators. This woman, I forget her name, like I think she's in charge of health and human safety, a Trump appointee, was on Fox, and the Fox News woman kept asking her point blank, are there enough beds? Are there enough respirators? Because that's a problem they're having in Italy right now. And she goes, oh, Trump, we've got a great plan. We're closing. She wouldn't answer the question. They asked her 4 times point blank, and she wouldn't answer it because you know what? And then I was listening on NPR. The person came back and said, there's not enough. There's only 95,000 respirators in this whole country. What happens? We're a country of 330 million people. What happens if 1 million people all need to get tested in the matter of a couple of weeks?
They're not testing people. The top health official in Ohio said that he suspects there's 100,000 people infected in Ohio. So we are on the trajectory right now. We are where Italy was a week ago.
Yeah.
So in 1 week, we will be where Italy is, and the whole goddamn country is going to be shut down. But I bet they won't because Wall Street doesn't want that to happen. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Hey, Siri, what's 350 million times 1,000?
350 million times 1,000 is 350 billion.
So that's $350 billion a month, that would be, right? For if you gave $1,000 to everybody. So $1,000 to everybody would be $350 billion a month.
So for 5 months, the time it would probably take to quell this
right.
thing.
Everybody gets a check.
There's the $1.5 trillion that these cocksuckers on Wall Street just fucking got.
There it is. There it is.
You fucking parasite pieces of shit.
There it is.
And I'm sorry, I know your mother-in-law doesn't like it when we swear.
I know. I'm sorry. My mother-in-law stopped watching.
I'm sorry.
Hey everybody, the next live Jimmy Dore show is May 1st in Minneapolis, and then we're going to Chicago. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com for a link for all the tickets to all our live shows, and become a premium member at jimmydorcomedy.com/join. We give you hours of bonus material every week. Thanks for your support.